Welcome to In the Clutch. I'm Joe.
I'm Joe, and today we're going to talk. We're going to change. We're going to flip the script a little bit because we had some big things happen this week. But we're going to talk about contracts.
Yeah. And I just want you to know we actually did not get dressed together today.
No.
No, I showed up and I was like, great shirt color.
Right, a little mint green. Whatever.
So there were 3 huge contracts signed this week in Major League Baseball. We waited months for Manny Machado, Bryce Harper.
Manny Machado, Bryce Harper, and then the surprise extension that came in the last week, 2 weeks.
No one was even talking about it. It just happened.
Right, Nolan Arenado with a huge contract extension.
So first off, let's talk about what do you think about Manny Machado, 10-year, $300 million, versus Bryce Harper, 330 million. I mean, Machado's getting more per year.
Right.
Harper got a bigger contract, longer years.
Well, really, the two contracts are completely different, despite the fact that they're similar in length and similar in size. But they're vastly different because Bryce Harper's has a no opt-out clause at any point. So that means from now until my son Bentley, who's 5, graduates from high school, Bryce Harper will be a Philadelphia Philly. And he has a no trade clause, which I'm sure at some point that might be explored depending on how good the Phillies remain or are over the next 13 years. But for the most part, man, I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting one. Whereas Manny's, he has an opt-out clause after season 5, and I think that's a big one because he'll be at that time he'll only be 31, and it could be an opportunity for him to get into another big last end of his career contract, where his current contract only takes him to 36.
I agree. I think as a baseball player nowadays, that you got to think about that. If I was a baseball player, I'd be trying to get a contract that gets me out at like 31, 32, so that I could sign one more big contract. Because I don't know, the Yankees love giving money to people till they're 45.
That's
so
true.
I mean, I know I could get one from them.
Right.
If you're a baseball player nowadays, you got to be thinking like you can get one big contract in your mid 20s. By the time you're 31, 32, if you've signed a $6-7 million a year, you can get another $6-8 million contract for 250, 300 million. Bryce Harper is pretty much done until he's 40 now.
Right. And don't get me wrong, we're talking about, $25 million a year. Well, $10 million this year with a $20 million signing bonus, and then $25 million a year essentially till the end of his career with the Phillies.
Yeah.
Which $25 million a year. I mean, Alex Rodriguez signed a contract with the Texas Rangers that was $25 million a year, a little over $25 million a year, back in 2001.
Yeah. The other thing, too, is, I was thinking that these guys would get a little bit more creative. If you look at Giancarlo Stanton's contract that he signed with the Marlins, his is crazy because it was 13 years, but it was like only 7, and then he basically becomes a free agent after 7, but they're paying him for 13 because the Marlins didn't have enough money that they needed to spread it out.
So they deferred it.
Right.
So Bobby Bonilla did.
Right. But he would have been able to, he can sign another contract in 7 years. But he'll get it signed from a team in 7 years, get paid from them, and still be getting paid $20-something million a year for the next 6 from the Marlins.
Right.
I thought one of these guys would have got a little bit more creative with what they did. I was surprised.
I agree too. There was definitely some creativity issues, in my opinion. Some creativity issues. But I think overall, I really like Manny Machado's flexibility in his contract more so than Bryce Harper's.
I do too.
I mean, I like that Bryce Harper is getting guaranteed money no matter what. And I like that Giancarlo Stanton's getting paid by the Marlins even if he's playing on another team after the 7 years is up.
Yeah. And I don't want it to think that we're talking about, it's $25 million, $30 million a year. Bryce Harper, you did nothing wrong. You're getting paid $25 million, $27 million a year for the next 13 years. Great. I'm just thinking nowadays, like, these guys this offseason we're talking about, like, players need to get paid and finding their value.
Right.
Like, I felt like as Bryce Harper, you could have found more value than just getting locked down for the next 13 years.
No, I think so too. And he could have. I mean, there are reports out there. John Heyman from Major League Baseball Insiders, he said that on the table there was an offer from the Dodgers for $45 million a year for 4 years.
Yeah. I don't know how you don't take that.
Right.
You come out at 30 years old after that, and if you kill it,
I mean, in my opinion, so look, the way I look at it is if you win the Mega Bucks, right, which is about $250 million, or at least it was on Tuesday or whatever, you win the Mega Bucks, you're taking the cash up front. Why are you taking the cash up front? Because you can turn around, hopefully, not likely, but hopefully turn around and invest that money and turn it into something bigger. In this situation, Bryce Harper's like, I'm not taking the cash up front. Instead,
Yeah.
I'm taking the long term. Give me all the installments, and we'll go from that angle.
Yeah, crazy. And then behind all of this, though, I mean, I didn't even hear an inkling about a Nolan Arenado extension, right?
Yeah, out of
Didn't
nowhere.
even hear anything. And then it's the biggest extension ever.
Right, biggest extension ever, and he is now the second highest, and I'll tell you who the highest one is in a second, but the second highest average annual value salary in baseball.
First is a pitcher.
Is a pitcher.
Starts with a Z.
Starts with a Z.
Zach Greinke.
Yeah, Zach Greinke's at $32.3 million, and
No, 34 points.
oh, 34%. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. 34.
Who would have thought that though? If I didn't know that actually until these contracts came up that it was Zach Greinke. I was like,
Right.
he's making the most per year. I thought it was Kershaw.
Right.
You would ask me.
Well, Kershaw's at $31 million. Miguel Cabrera's still at $31 million per year as well. Yeah, crazy, right?
Cabrera's one of those ones that, not to get off on a tangent, but he just fell off out of nowhere. He was
Well-
like triple crown, and then all of a sudden,
But injured also.
I know. Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
interesting to see because he claims that in spring training, he claims that he's full health,
Yep.
ready to go, and he's even trying new positions. So I don't know
Right.
what that means, but he's trying a new position.
Kurt, don't take him in the first round again. Just
Ah,
had to throw
that's
out
for
there.
Kurt Roush. That's
Yeah.
for Kurt Roush, who is one of our subscribers, by the way. Thank you, Kurt.
All right, so contract Nolan Arenado, what'd you think?
I love the contract I love it because
Me too.
that's where he's great. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at his home and away splits, there is a difference. Kind of like Charlie Blackmon, too. Charlie Blackmon has a difference between where he plays at home and where his road splits are. Arenado's the same way. Is it a big difference? It's not that big of a difference. Arenado's back can play anywhere. But
Correct.
why not keep it in Colorado where he can continue to jack up the stats?
If you're a good baseball player, why not play 81 games in Colorado?
Yeah, and that's
You
gonna
know, sign me up.
I don't want to tease too much because we're going to talk about the predictions here in a little bit. I mean, not today, but we're going to talk about our Major League Baseball predictions probably in the next month on the podcast and definitely in blog form in the next 2 weeks. But that Rockies offense with Daniel Murphy at second now,
Yep,
Trevor
Trevor
Story
Story.
of another full season under his belt, Arenado, Charlie Blackmon. I mean, that team, offensively,
Yep.
you might not be
got
able
some
to
power.
stop them.
They
Yeah,
got
you
some
might not be
power.
able to stop them. You can only hope to contain them.
Ooh. All right, let's switch gears here a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
As you guys saw, we put out some polls for your top 5 sports teams, which we got a lot of
Top 5
responses.
sports movies.
Sports movies, not teams.
Not teams.
And we got a lot of responses. Thank you very much. We are actually going to be doing something with these, so it's not just for, hey, what's your top 5 sports movies? We needed them for a reason because, hey, it's March.
That's right.
What happens in March?
Madness!
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 So what do we have on the agenda?
We have 2 things on the agenda. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put together a March sports movie madness month. So,
No.
Yeah.
No.
All the way.
All right,
What?
all right.
Yeah, so we're going to do that, and we're going to base it off of what you guys have put into both of our Facebook feeds. And if you aren't on Facebook, that's okay. You can still participate in our polls via Twitter as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to put out
Tweets.
4 polls a day. 4 polls a day for the next 8 days. Seeding them 1 through 16 in 4 different regions, 4 different
Just like a
sports
March Madness
regions,
bracket.
just like March Madness bracket. We'll be responsible for the seeding based off of your input. So basically, how many people like for example, I'm pretty sure Field of Dreams is going to be a top seed. Hoosiers is probably going to be a top seed.
Yep.
I saw that. Rudy,
Remember the Titans? That will probably be a top seed.
yeah, might be up there. Rudy's going to be on there. Unfortunately, even though it's not a true story, Disney.
It's based on a true
No,
story.
it's not. It's not.
His name's Rudy,
Rudy never makes it to the game.
but his name's Rudy.
His name is Rudy.
So
There
it's
is
based on a true story.
based on a dude. It's completely embellished. Fact. Hashtag fact.
All right, so by the end of March, though, we will have the greatest sports movie of all time.
That's right.
Voted on by you guys.
What?
I'm excited to see some upsets.
Yeah, we'll see.
See what the top seeds are.
I mean, some 12 versus 5 upsets.
I think at first we were wondering if we were going to have 64 movies. Wow,
Way over.
Yeah, we have
Way over
64 movies.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how golf holds up. There was a lot of golf input.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was.
Some boxers.
Happy
some
Gilmore,
boxers.
one I didn't even think of.
Right, I know. Happy
You know?
Gilmore.
And I actually do love that movie. And
You're
I
going to
didn't even
see
think of
these.
it.
You're going to see some of these. You're like, oh, man, how do I vote on that? I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what you guys do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are we going to start that?
Today.
All right, coming out today.
We're going to start it today. Another thing that we're doing, and you'll want to sign up for this, is Beat the Joes. So we're doing a March Madness Beat the Joes. So in 2 weeks, we have Selection Sunday.
We're the Joes.
We're the Joes.
We're the Joes.
We're the Joes.
Yeah.
We have Selection Sunday, and we'll most likely know what the top 64 seeds are going to be. So, I mean, we won't know exactly, but we're going to give a little preview to that. And then that Monday night or Tuesday night, we're going to do another podcast. And in that podcast, we're going to actually go through the brackets on this TV right here. We're going to go through the brackets, maybe even stand next to the TV so that we look kind of like sports anchors or something weird.
Yeah. Maybe laser pen.
Laser pen. Do a laser pen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that would, all right. And then we'll send out a link to where you can get into a bracket with us and try to beat us in March Madness picks.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe prizes.
Maybe prizes.
No.
Probably not.
No.
We're on a budget.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should see our film studio.
Yeah. It's quite a bit. The lighting here, amazing.
Amazing lighting.
Something might be hanging off of our little son's basketball court.
Now I realize that we should probably put a light behind the camera too.
Right.
Yeah.
So much of a budget, neither one of us are wearing pants.
I thought we were gonna. Okay.
All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We will be sending out the March Madness bracket of sports movies today.
That's right. Sorry. And we're going to do a Beat the Joes, which is exciting. All right. Now it's time for our Sports Minute. Do you want to just do a combined Sports Minute?
Sure.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? My thought, we've been talking about contracts anyway. Let's talk about what's the most absurd contracts that are out there. Because when I think of absurd contracts, I think of the money that the NBA players make on an annual basis is absolutely insane. Like Russell Westbrook makes $42 million a year.
Yeah. Walking triple-double.
Yeah, I mean, is he worth it? I'm sure he's worth it. $42 million a year.
I don't know. You know?
Joel Embiid, who hasn't completed a full season ever in his career, $29 million a year.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is I actually would not have thought that basketball was doing that good to be offering that type of money.
I know, but they are.
Yeah.
I mean, the NBA actually is very financially fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They only have a max of 6 or 7 years, though, correct? In the NBA?
6
year max contracts.
6 year max contracts.
Yeah. So I mean, really, they can make a lot of money if you can play 12, 13, 14 years in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean,
they
right
can.
now.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're leaving here. We are actually going to be doing the last podcast right now without a bet.
Without a bet?
Yep, without a bet.
Wait, whoa. We're betting?
I bet you we're going to bet.
Wait, I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, I don't know either. But we're going to start having some bets. Usually we debate a lot of different things, so we're going to be coming out with like our baseball previews, predictions. So we're going to start putting some bets on the line, some gambles on what we're going to debate on.
We want you to get involved too. We want you to tell us who is going to win the bet. Because that's a big one. That's a big part of you getting involved and being part of this process.
You can send me a tweet.
Yeah, I mean, mostly it's going to be me. You're going to pick me.
I don't know how to do that stuff.
Well, no, I mean, you're going to pick me on the bets because I typically win on bets.
No.
Scott Kazmir, Cy Young.
Yeah, top 5 Cy Youngs.
Never been in the top 5.
I always gave you the field. I'm not giving you the field anymore.
Oh, finally, after 10 years, he's smartened up. After 10 years. So anyway, I mean, I beat him in the picks, the NFL picks this year too.
Yeah, what I have the Steelers
and the
Steelers
Packers.
and the Packers.
Steelers and
Either one of them made the playoffs.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
Right. I mean, neither of my teams made it either to the Super Bowl, but both of them made it to their championship games.
Yeah.
So, all right, it's back on. I thought he was being real. All right, so that's it. So next time, we're going to make bets. We've got all kinds of things to bet on, too, which is really exciting. We've got March Madness to bet on. We've got Major League Baseball predictions to bet on. We've got the NFL Draft coming up to bet on. And we've got the Masters. Whew! That's a lot of stuff.
To bet on.
Man, you better get your pocketbook out.
All right.
What? All right, guys. I'm Joe.
I'm Joe.
And this has been In the Clutch.